Okay, so welcome there, folks, to our spoiler-filled review. This one's going to be a little bit more light than usual, but it's because we actually said everything for the most part that we really needed to say in the concise review, if you will. But here we wanted to just kind of spitball our personal opinions, and it has to do with spoilers around the Caverns of Slime and kind of especially the ending and the eggs. So those are kind of the main things that this is all about. So we couldn't talk about them, unfortunately. But we can do that here. So without further ado, James.
All right. So if you are not looking for any spoilers, turn away now. However,
why'd you click here?
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. Anyway, so please don't leave. We love you.
No, please. It'll be
stay.
good. It'll be good conversation.
So the ending, like we said, is very set in stone. Essentially, there are priests that are involved with this story arc who kind of tell you about the heralding of this. And one thing we didn't mention is that turnover happens not only at a specific time during the year, but it happens around when there is a new place put up town or city-wise, or when they rebuild something. So like, let's say there's a big fire in a town and it takes down most of the town. When they rebuild it, turnover is brought forth.
Exactly. And it's because it's based and it's rooted in the deity named Lathander, who is the god of the new dawn, new beginnings.
Exactly. And
hence why, turnover happens when these sort of big events happen in life around Faerun.
Exactly.
Yep.
With that, these priests do kind of get involved, and what they do is they host this magical egg hunt. And there are grand prizes given at the end. So you have like 3 tiers of prizes. All of them can be varied and random for whatever level.
I would recommend that you kind of give a little bit more, but that's just me. I just felt it was a little on the light side, like I had alluded to in the shorter review. Yeah. But that's me. Personal.
But I mean, an easy fix is loot book or treasure guide or whatever the thing.
A really easy thing to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it kind of had to take a few hits in that department when it came to that. However, essentially these priests herald in this event, and they kind of tell you the rules. Non-violent. You're not allowed to pillage, other people. And
thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not.
Exactly. And it lasts for 48 hours. And
it's a race. You gotta get them.
Exactly. And you want to collect as many as you can.
Yep.
But
you run into a couple rival characters along the way.
And, at the end, you want to have as many as possible. But you can use the eggs to gain certain abilities.
Yeah.
But before I go into the egg section, you have stuff you want to say on the ending.
110%. So, just personal thing, right? I definitely can see how maybe some people who either aren't religious, didn't grow up being religious, might find this a little heavy-handed for them. I guess if I want to share this, like, I grew up being religious. I'm definitely still a spiritual person, absolutely. But regardless of that, reason why I mention it is that I'm not an atheist, like a staunch atheist, saying my personal opinion here and why I don't think this ending is good. No. I'm informed, and I'm still in that realm. And that's why, I offer this, it's constructive. It absolutely is. I want it to be. Anyways, taken as that. But, the ending I just felt is just a little too heavy-handed, hitting you over the head with the pan in terms of like
the moral
ending, right? And it's like, but what if you have a party that isn't morally aligned with that? And how do they act out? Can they act out? What happens if they do?
Exactly.
None of that's given, right? It's just I'm sorry for the visuals, but like
ham-fisted into the story, like you're stuffing a turkey.
Yeah, it really is, and that's something that really is a personal gripe of mine in D&D period. Like if a DM does that to me as a player, I'm pissed because then my agency is completely gone. And even on how to react, things I can do.
And we're both very heavy RPers.
We are.
That
So again, that's why 110%. Is this a personal gripe? Yes. Was it left out of the objective review and criteria and didn't affect the score? Yes. So yes, if you wanted to know what my personal thoughts on that were, that's them. Again, I don't think inherently there's nothing wrong with this. It's just about how I like my storytelling. I do like a little bit more of the current kind of storytelling that we have, although not to ad nauseum about having, I don't like an entire world and all its characters being these morally gray fence sitters. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right? It's all about balance, right? And for me, in that sense, that's why the balance took a little bit of a hit when it came to the lore, and in the lore section took a little bit of a hit
because
for me.
Because it does imply that you are following a good path.
Exactly. Like, then, again, and then that also feeds into intrigue and why certain groups might not pick this up. Like I said, if you're, as you said, what's that? Bunula, or what was that?
Oh, Banicula.
Banicula, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're running a grimdark game or a campaign...
Yeah. This doesn't fit.
It just doesn't fit, right? And
but there's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's just, again, like, that's kind of both objectively and personally, right? Something that I noted, right? And just something I wanted to talk about. So, thank you. That's off my chest, everybody. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Am I going off the rails here? Or, if especially, please comment if you've actually picked this up, gone through it, ran it especially, and what sort of interactions you had with your players or as a player with your DM about this. Really would like to hear what's going on, and if I'm alone in this or not, and regardless. So eggs, James, tell me about the eggs, because I before I give it to you, because I know you have a lot to say on this, I will definitely say that we both agreed on the eggs in terms of balance, and there just needs to be more, and there could be so much more to do with those eggs. So that's what I'm just going to say to keep it simple. Go ahead, my man.
Okay, so first off, I'd like to say that although I do objectively believe and personally believe that the eggs were fairly well balanced, I think the gripe I have about it is not that they weren't balanced. It's that some of them just didn't quite have a place unless it was very specific, but they were still balanced within that specificity, which is why I gave them a good score, because at the end of the day, they are a utility. They can be used as an action. They have nice little flavor text like, oh, this one smells of this, or this one's painted like so-and-so, and, you eat it, or you smash it, or you rub it on something, right? They have that nice little text, and it teaches players, especially newer players, how to apply. Sorry about the furnace. Apply oils or poisons or buffs to themselves to kind of learn that the more complicated intricacies of magical play.
Yeah, absolutely, and just mechanics that exist in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that really gave them a really high point on the list.
Yeah.
Because they covered so many things that usually takes several sessions or, a long time playing D&D.
To discover, 110%.
Exactly.
Yep.
So...
and, I'm sorry, just to jump in there too, but I was pissed that they kind of just get taken from underneath you once you just get them. But on the flip side, there's just so many of them. I just like the versatility of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a lore, difficulty, balance, intrigue kind
all
of...
wrapped into one egg.
Oh, you scrambled my joke. Sorry, that was a hard boiling
gotcha.
pun.
We gotta get serious again. I got you.
So, let me crack this one open. The way they get removed makes sense in the lore.
Yeah, it does.
It balances out the game, because if you were able to keep some of these eggs, they would be a little too powerful.
On the flip side, I'd say maybe if they just have one use after this event, they're only good for one time, and then it cracks and shatters.
Yeah, or
something,
there's a duration. You have to use it within the next X amount of time. So
and then it wears off, and it's just a stinky egg. That would be pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. But I mean, at the end of this little arc, essentially the priest kind of tells you like, oh yeah, you know, they're just freaking eggs. Like, yes, the god blessed them and they have these magical abilities, but the power was truly within you the entire time. And it was that nice like 80s 90s nostalgia feel that I was talking about.
Yeah, good for some, maybe for another.
But like Eric was saying, and the final thing I want to touch on is that although it's kind of that heavier-handed spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's too bad.
No, I completely agree. I do completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
So just to go back on my previous questions, I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do. It's just you gotta know the table.
Exactly.
And sorry, and I would absolutely say that this is one of the first modules that we've reviewed that I can actually say I could recommend this for kids. I'm not even
Absolutely.
joking. Yep.
And I know that there's even a section for that on the DMs Guild. I actually stumbled across that when we did our top 10 video.
Yep.
And that's actually something really cool. And I think this is, like we've said, an all-around great introduction.
And something that's for kids, but that's not niched complete. Like it's for all ages. Really, it is.
Yeah.
And that's a testament. I gotta say.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we could write something that would
that flexible. No. I mean, we are trying to write something right now, and several other things in the background beyond that. But yeah, it honestly, like, this is really well done. I really enjoy it. If I could personally and like factor in all my personal things outside of the criticality and the objectiveness that we have to maintain, yeah, I would have given this like a solid 10 because it is really well rounded, and the things that we did have to kind of punch it for were on the nitpicky and nitpricky side of things.
For sure.
In my opinion, at least.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's a good point
Right.
of saying it. On a personal opinion, right? You really felt like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but objectively, I do agree with our point of view and our scoring on the objective side of things. Personally, I absolutely love this.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's fair.
But that's my end of things.
No, and you know what? Not to drag it on or anything, I think we have both talked about the 2 points that we really wanted to about this, and I like that we kind of had a couple different perspectives on each other's like main points, which I like. That's why it's always good when we sit down and just talk like over coffee, whatever. We always have some good back and forths. So yeah, I completely agree with kind of where we've come to on this one. So that really is going to do it for our full in-depth spoiler conversation about the Caverns of Slime. Again, in case you missed it in the first video, or in case you missed the first video, go back and watch that. Link in the description, and link in the description to the Caverns of Slime, our affiliate links, our social medias, and of course our Patreon. So thank you guys all for watching today, and
before we send you through the rift, we want to say thank you, Scott.
Oh yes,
for once again giving us the this to review
in the first place, and without even asking for anything in return.
Yeah, so wonderful shout out to you, everyone. Please, we implore you to go check out Scott's works and go support him and his team of amazing people. Well done. Hats off. Thank you.
Excited to see what else comes our way from you. Very good person as well, on outside of just him as a professional and as a writer. Just a great person to talk to. Really enjoyed it. So yeah,
with that, we
will see you through the rift.